Welcome to Unfuck Your Money, the podcast where overwhelmed high achievers, overgivers, and anxious humans learn how to create a calmer, more empowered relationship with money and life. I'm your host, Nadine Zamot, financial wellness and empowerment coach and a somatic practitioner, and the founder of Save a Million Cents. Over the past several years, I've helped clients pay off debt, reduce financial anxiety, emotionally regulate around money, build savings, increase their income, and create more financial stability, all through a trauma-informed, nervous system-friendly approach that goes far beyond traditional budgeting or boring nervous system advice. Because here's what you've never been taught. Financial wellness isn't just about numbers. It's about safety, self-trust, capacity, and creating a life that actually feels spacious enough to enjoy. Here in this podcast, we talk about money anxiety, emotional spending, financial shame, burnout, nervous system overwhelm, healing, courage, and practical tools for building a healthier relationship with money and with yourself. So if you're tired of the hustle culture, shame-based financial advice, and feeling like your nervous system is secretly running your finances, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Unfuck Your Money. Today, I've got a bit of a confession to make. So, here we go. My name is Nadine, and I have been regulating my nervous system lately through shopping. Yes, I know better. Yes, I teach this stuff. But when times feel rough and life gets heavy, it's really hard to practice what we preach, even if it's us who are preaching the damn thing. So I've personally had a rough year. And add to that the events of the world, the weirdness that's going on. And of course, I have zero capacity to do what I know I'm supposed to do. So if you're also in this situation, you and I have two solutions, maybe more, but let's just tackle two for today. Solution number one. Discipline yourself into stopping emotional spending or emotional shopping. Option two is work with this as a pattern to see what's underneath. So, what's underneath option one? Choosing discipline. While I don't think that this is the wrong choice, because it certainly has its benefits, especially if you're putting yourself into financial trouble, when we choose discipline to change any habit, especially a money habit, it will show up in different forms of your life. For example, many clients, and myself included, sometimes I consider myself my own client. Many clients, myself included, have found that when we try to shame, blame, and discipline ourselves out of spending habits, we tend to overeat or lash out on people. That's because there is a fight response and anger or frustration in our nervous system that is being suppressed. So, a lot of times, not always, overspending or emotional spending is a way for that fight response to express itself. So, when we use discipline to suppress that overspending, it is going to show up in other areas in our lives, especially overeating. And what I see is that the emotional spending pattern it's a way to express these emotions. It's not the right way to express anger or frustration or that fight response. It's not the right way, but it is a way out. So, like I said, option one is an option, which is choosing discipline, but it's not going to work. I'm just telling you from now. I love you. It's valid, but it's not going to work because, like I said, this fight response needs a way out. Okay, that brings us to a more solid option, which is option number two, which is to get curious about the root cause of why you shop. This can start with becoming aware and curious about what you buy, when you buy it, when do you get the urge to spend, and what happens before. A lot of times people focus on what happens after, which is, I opened the package, done. Okay, next. However, noticing, again, when you buy it, what you buy, when or what triggers the urge to spend, what happened before. Did you have to bite your tongue too much at work? Did your partner or child frustrate you? Do things in life feel out of control? These are some common examples of some root causes that myself and my clients have. This type of self inquiry can lead you down interesting paths, and you will learn so much about yourself. And also, getting to the root cause of the emotional spending and learning how to express, move that emotion through you with time. And I always say, good finances is a practice. It's not a perfect. It's something that we practice and practice and practice. It's always something, it's like a conscious practice. Just like if if you're a mindfulness practitioner or meditation practitioner, you're not always going to hit the meditation. You're not always going to just like be like, oh, I'm in the zone all the time. There's going to be times where it's going to feel like effort. And this is the same. Money is a practice. Okay. So this type of self inquiry is going to help you learn so much about yourself. It is going to help you with time, with practice, get to the root cause and learn how to express the actual need that is underneath that emotional spending pattern. Okay. There is a lot of healing opportunities underneath. I do understand that option one feels sexier, quicker, and like, yeah, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be disciplined. But I promise you that this is just an illusion. Option one provides the illusion of a quick fix. Okay. It's again like a dopamine hit. Like, yeah, I made a decision and now it's going to work. And it might work for an hour, two a day, but that's it. What happens when we discipline ourselves? It triggers shame. It triggers shame. And it triggers a type of money cycle, which I call spend and restrict. It will leave you worse off, meaning you spend, you shame yourself into discipline, and then you restrict, and then you will explode and spend again. And that is like yo yo budgeting or yo yo dieting, but it's the same. It will leave you worse off. Option two sounds longer, or even it is more expensive because it's a root cause solution, meaning you're not cutting your spending straight away, but it is more of a long-term fix, meaning it's cheaper on the long run. When you pull out weeds, I always use this example. You pull out the weeds, there's always the root is way longer than the top part of the weed that you see. Okay. So whatever the reason is, I can assure you that it makes sense to your nervous system. I'll tell you why in a second. Because your nervous system always has a protective intention. It always does, even when it looks like you're messing or sabotaging yourself. Emotional spending, even emotional eating. By the way, my bachelor was in nutrition, so I get to speak about emotional eating if I want to. They all have deeper roots that I highly, highly recommend you uncover. Okay, let's call them hidden desires. So if you're someone who stockpiles, for example, like I took up embroidery back in January, so a few months ago, and all I do these days is buy thread. Like seriously, I buy thread. I have more thread than I can ever use, but that is stockpiling. You might be stockpiling other things. At some point in my life, I was stockpiling chips. I don't know why. Okay, so if you're stockpiling, the hidden desire might be safety. If you're buying gifts or finding yourself picking up the tab every time you go out with friends or more often than you can afford to, the hidden desire underneath might be linked to connection, wanting closeness, acceptance, or needing to feel like you belong. If you're a treat yourself to take out 3 times a week type of person, then the hidden desire might be rest. You might be needing rest. If you can't stop booking trips and spending money on nights out that you can't afford, what might be deeply needed is play. That is why I always say you need to factor in your inner child as an important part of your money plan. That's my opinion. Another one is if you're buying little trinkets and treats, $10 here is $15 there. I saw someone online calling it dollar dribbling. I thought that was really cute. So, if you're buying trinkets here and there, especially on internet shopping, you might be needing reassurance or care. This from my experience, usually happens when there is unprocessed grief or sadness. So, the moral of the story is don't make yourself wrong or shame yourself if you're spending money emotionally these days. I promise you, there is wisdom behind it and a deeper need if you are willing to explore yourself, if you are willing to unshame yourself, if you're willing to accept it and dig deeper with compassion. I believe that every bad money habit is a portal for healing and empowerment. Just like the poet Rumi says, the wound is the place where light enters you. And if you want my help with uncovering the root cause of your shopping habits, or if you're struggling with money anxiety, financial avoidance, or feeling like your nervous system is constantly running your finances and you want a grounded, compassionate approach to creating a healthier and more empowered relationship with money, I would love to work with you. I'm offering introductory one-on-one financial wellness and somatic coaching sessions where we explore your money patterns, your nervous system responses, your emotional blocks, and give you practical next steps so you can build more clarity, self-trust, financial stability, and freedom in a way that actually feels sustainable. You can learn more about this introductory session and book it through the link in the show notes. I would be honored to support you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today on Unfuck Your Money. I will see you next week. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning into the Unfuck Your Money podcast. If this episode was helpful, I'd love to send you a free gift. Leave a 5-star review and send a screenshot to @Nadine Zumot on Instagram or the link in the show notes, and I'll personally send you my financial freedom starter kit as a thank you. This is a powerful step-by-step resource to create epic abundance and safety with your money. Every review helps me reach more high achievers who desire and deserve financial freedom. So click subscribe and download a few more episodes, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.